Hi guys, James here from Knife Depot. Today we're doing a quick unboxing and review of one of the new Cudeman hunting knives, survival knives. It is the 155 MC. Now it's a real chunk of a knife and also comes with a full survival kit, and we'll get straight into the unboxing of this knife. So this is the packaging that the all Cudeman come in, this green sort of basic cardboard packaging. It's all sort of about the knife and accessories with Cudeman. Inside you get your knife kit. We'll have a look at that in a second. You also get a little Cudeman booklet, and you also get a lanyard, and I'll show you in a few minutes what that lanyard is for. So this is the survival kit, and there's a lot of little goodies attached in here, and I'll go through each and every one and sort of go through what they're actually for, but we'll start with the knife. So inside you've got the 155. So this particular knife is one hell of a chunk of a knife. To give you an idea, the weight on this knife is coming in at about 420 grams, so extremely heavy. It is a full tang knife, so one piece of steel from start to finish. And the steel that they've used in here is a vanadium based steel, so it's more like a tool steel. This is designed for doing all those rough jobs outside, so not just whittling or anything like that. This will be ideal if you're going to be splitting logs for firewood, if you're digging in, you know, pegs or anything like that. This is going to take a lot of punishment. It's a heavy knife. It's designed to just do all that sort of rough stuff. So sort of like a short version of I suppose a machete for chopping down timber and stuff like that, as in splitting logs, just more compact for carrying. We'll get straight into the accessories that you get. So obviously you get the knife in the kit, but you also get this really cool holster with a whole bunch of accessories in here. Now Cudeman are really well known for not only producing great knives, but the accessories that they come with, including the holsters, are just top end. They use beautiful leather on these holsters, and this one is a classic example of just how well the actual sheets are made. So we'll just go into a few of the accessories they've got in here. So on the side here, as it is a survival kit, on the side you have a ferrous rod, so a knife, so you can take this out. So you've basically got your fire starter, so you can just scrape that. You can start fire with your kindling. You've also got a sharpening stone slash mirror here. So on this side, if you want to resharpen your knife, if it gets a little bit dull, you can just, in the field, just sharpen the blade. And on the other side you have a signal mirror. Now this is quite an interesting little signal mirror. I only noticed it this week when we took it out of the packaging. Signal mirrors are designed so if you're in the wild, you're trying to get somebody's attention, you're signaling to them, you just shine it into the sun and you can create a bit of a signal with that. This one has a few other little things going on here. They've got a compass built into it as well. Now I haven't figured out how to use this yet. I'm sure there will be lots of survivalists out there that would figure out this. I use just a standard compass. It does somehow line up angle wise with the sun, so you're able to actually get direction and all that sort of stuff. Probably a little bit overcomplicated for me. As I said, I use just a standard compass, but there are going to be people out there that will love this sort of stuff if that's what they're into. So that's included in the kit as well. On the back of the holster, this can be hung on your hip either horizontally or vertically, so you can hang it straight down your leg. You've got a belt loop on the back here that will accommodate quite large belts. You'll probably get a 50-60 mil belt in here. You have a bit of paracord on the bottom that can be lashed to your leg. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is you have a few loops on the back here. You've got two loops. You can also clip this to a belt. You could have this facing horizontal on your belt if you wanted to. You could use that as well, but more so these are probably going to be very useful if you're lashing the holster to a pack. So if you're backpacking, anything like that, you can actually tie the holster, you know, you could have it hanging downwards like this, and you can have your knife just ready to grab from the back of your backpack. Once the knife is in the actual sheet, it is very well secured. So once it's in there, you've got a little button lock on there. The knife isn't going anywhere, so it's not going to fall out. So even if you hold it upside down, that knife isn't going anywhere. It's secured in there. It can't actually go past this leather piece here. So it's a nice secure fit. So also in the kit, as you would have seen at the start of the video, they supply a bit of paracord. So they've got this a few meters of paracord. Now you can use any cord you like. I think this is included as an add-on. So when you are using the knife, you have a couple of, and these would turn out to be quite useful. You have a couple of little loopholes that have been drilled into the main spine of the blade. Now you could probably lash a cord through that and through here. As an example, if you had a pole or something like that, you could probably use this as a spear. If you're fishing, that sort of thing, you could use that knife for something like that, or increasing the size of the tool. So just to go through some of the specs on this knife. So the weight is coming in at 420 grams, which is quite a heavy, chunky knife. The blade length on this is 16 centimeters. The handle length is 13 centimeters. So you've got an overall length in total with this knife of 29 centimeters. So it's about 12 inches long. So a nice big beefy knife. The blade thickness is 5 millimeters. So that's where all your weight is. So it's a big, heavy, thick chunk of steel the whole way through that knife. So that's 5 mil in thickness. And the blade width is about 4.6 centimeters, so 46 mil from here to here. So you've got a fair, chunky size outdoor knife, as mentioned, for doing all that sort of digging, cutting, hacking, that kind of a thing. So the fit and finish on this Cudeman knife, like all the Cudeman knives, is absolutely fantastic. So they've got a satin finished blade on here. It looks quite nice. It's not overly shiny or anything. You're not going to get a lot of reflection off it. It just looks really, really nice. They've done a hollow point grind on the actual blade. Comes out of the box razor sharp. This is probably going to be a little bit harder to get sharpened initially, but once you get it sharp, once it's nice and edgy, it'll keep it, even if you're cutting a lot of timber and stuff like that. The hardness on this steel is 54 to 50 C, and that's on the Rockwell scale. So yeah, so who would use a knife like this? So this is the ideal type of knife to have if you're a camper, hiker, you're setting up camp, you're doing your own little bit of kindling, cutting and all that sort of stuff. It'll be perfect for that. So my overall thoughts on this knife, I just think it's a really cool little survival kit. A lot of this stuff that you will get here on the sheet is readily available to buy on its own. So even if you broke like a ferrous rod or a sharpening stone, you can always replace them. It is good that they've actually designed the actual pouch to take these things. So having that addition on the side where you can actually keep a sharpening stone, you could use it for something else if you wanted to. You could probably put a small flashlight or something else in there, but it is pretty cool. If you're out in the field, your knife goes a little bit dull, you can just sharpen it. The signal mirror just depends on what you're doing, if that's something you would use, but it's there anyways. It's part of the sharpening stone. It's a beautifully finished, when you take it out of the box, just the finish on the actual sheet and knife makes it stand out from a lot of other brands, and would highly recommend if you're into that sort of survival end of things. So that's it for the review of the 155 Cudeman. If you liked that review, please like and subscribe. We will have new content out every week. If you're into that sort of content, please hit the bell down below. You will get alerts for that, and we'll see you in the next video.